Let's talk about defending. I've got it in pretty much two positions. I know there's a lot here. I'm going to go through it. If you look at the top left in defense position 1, you're starting to set up coverage and defense for bomb site A. Defense position 2, which is towards the bottom middle of this screen, is setting up defense for bomb site B. You kind of have to wait and see what the attackers do. Within probably I'd say the first 5 to 10 seconds, you're gonna know where the bombers are gonna be. They're gonna let you know, most likely, because they have a certain amount of time before they have to get that bomb planted. I don't recommend going forward of the bomb sites because you have to cover too much area. And I mean, if the attackers are that bad, yeah, you can. I recommend setting up in these positions, getting these strong angles that I'm going to talk about, and holding. Let's say the attacking team is going to bomb site B. What you can do is, as long as you have defense position 2 set up, you can have those two players, player 1 and player 2, in defense position 1. You can have them push that and try and sweep around. You can do that too, as long as you understand that you're going to have to go a little bit slower, move a little bit carefully, because there's probably going to be someone protecting those angles, preventing you from doing that very thing. If you look at player 3 in the middle, player 3 is, again, kind of like a shortstop. They can either play player 3 or player 3A, and I'll show you these important angles in a second. For defense position 1, this is another good angle to see, so you can kind of see what the windows and doorways are looking at. Players 1 and 3 are really focused on that first corner, that corner 1 on the attacking side. If you look at also the player 3 position, if you look at that 3 alpha where they're at, that I didn't put in here because I totally forgot to do it because it's a free video, so what do you want? Player 1 and player 3 are really controlling that doorway and that angle as corner 1. Player 2 is really more concerned with more just preventing a sweep and also defending player 1. So player 1 and player 2 are kind of like a sniper spotter team in the sense that player 1 is the sniper, player 2 is the spotter. Player 2 is really just running protection and sweep prevention. This is what that player 1, player 2 position is looking at for defense position 1. You notice on the right side, you can clearly see all the way through that far side corner and through what's going to be corner 1 if they're the attacking team. That's a really important corner, and it also picks up a little bit of the bomb site as well. This is a very good angle to have because it's direct line of sight, but you're exposed to that left side window, which the sun sort of messed up when I tried to take this panoramic picture. What do you want? I did this off my phone, so because of that left side window, that's why you have to have player 2. Because if the attacking team just sweeps that angle, they're going to take you right out. Here's a better look at what that position 1, person 1 is doing, is you have a real clear line of sight to that corner to eliminate those players. And potentially to fire off any players that try and walk through there as well, like a bomber after they plan if they want to go to their position. Maybe someone was slow to get into corner 3. So this is a really strong angle you want to keep and hold. Here's what you're looking at for defense position 1, person 2. It's just flank protection. It's sweep protection. That's it. All you're doing is protecting the person on your right, because that person on the right, or player 1, has a really important angle that your team needs to keep and hold. All you're doing is just protecting them from getting swept. Here's one of the angles for person 3. You'll notice it's still an easy spot to get to. It's one of the most important angles because it's so close. It's probably the closest and easiest to get to right off the break. You can sprint straight there and you have a good piece of that first corner. And again, that's that corner needs to be contested over a lot from both attackers and defenders. Here's the overview again. Now we're going to talk about defense position number 2, which is going to protect bomb site B. Notice there's 2 players set up in a pretty important spot. One is covering that little doorway, which has that real straight angle that we talked about when we were attacking, and really just we're protecting up strong angles. The nice thing about this is player 3 can kind of bounce back and forth to either defense position 1 or 2, depending on what the attacking team does. Also, depending on how you want to run it, let's say they're going for bomb site B, you can either have player 1 and 2 that would be assigned to defense position 1, either rush and try and do a long sweep and just run the perimeter, or you could have player 1 just sort of chill there and have player 2 come back and reinforce bomb site B, and they can try and do something. There's a number of ways you can do it, but if the attacking team is going to bomb site A, the guys in defense position 1 is player 1 and player 2. Those are your skirmishers, meaning you can have player 1 abandon that angle because they're not going for that site anyway, have player 2 hold in place, and they just leapfrog. They just leapfrog over and over and over again. So I would say player 1 could sweep behind and start rushing, and then player 2 is sort of waiting and seeing if any of the attacking teams are going to try and come out and focus on player 1. You're basically fishing at that point. It's a little bit of cat and mouse, but it's not a bad way to go. Or you can just run direct reinforcements to bomb site B. It's whatever you want to do, whatever at the time you think is going to be the strongest position to take. Here's position 1. Again, it's that straight window and that straight long doorway. There's a couple of far angles through that doorway you want to worry about, kinda, but this is a really strong position to have because the bomber has to cross that angle in order to get to the bomb site. You can take that bomber out. All you got to do is just hold that angle, tuck into the left side, have that rifle on your right shoulder, and then just hose him down when he runs to the bomb site. Here's defense position 2. The picture came out a little wonky on this, but you could get the idea of it. The bomb is on the other side of this wall. It's not inside the structure, it's outside the structure. Again, it's easier to ref it that way. And depending on how close you want to get to that doorway, you can also run secondary protection as well. But what you're doing from being in position 2 is preventing someone from coming through that doorway and taking out your other player or your teammate. And that's it. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, whatever, or just, go away and unsubscribe. I don't care.